Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. I've got what could be looked at as bad news, but personally, I see it as good news. Owlcat has announced that they are delaying the release of the Void Shadows DLC. Obviously, this on some level is disappointing. It's the first DLC for Rogue Trader, and it probably will be coupled with some balancing for the game as well in recognition of the new mechanics that have been implemented. So a lot of people were definitely excited for it, but at the same time, it's going to give Owlcat the opportunity to make sure it's completely ironed out. Let's go ahead and read the release statement that they provided to announce that this game would be delayed. Hi everyone, today we are sad to announce that the release of the Void Shadows DLC is being moved from August 8th to September 24th. So obviously that's a very significant delay, and unfortunately it's gonna coincide with the beta release for Greedfall 2. I'm probably gonna do some content for that. So it kind of sucks for me as a content creator, but somehow I'll get through it. We've been putting everything we have into the development of it, but we now see that while the new additions to the game are awesome, the technical quality is not quite there yet. That's why we've decided to spend some additional time on polishing and eradicating anything that might spoil your experience as you investigate the darkest corners of your void ship or romance a new companion. We apologize for the delay in delivery, but we hope you'll understand our reasoning. Now, obviously, again, it's unfortunate to have to wait so much longer before we get the DLC in hand, but as a longtime fan of Owlcat, I love this. I think it's absolutely fantastic news because even the strongest defenders of Owlcat's content, and I'm certainly one of them, again, I love their stuff, we all have to admit that their stuff a lot of times is just buggy at launch. It comes out with bugs that oftentimes mar the experience that players have. So to hear that they're really going to try to take their time with this DLC and make sure that it's as polished as possible and that players get the best experience possible while going through it is definitely fantastic to hear. It's the type of news I like to hear coming from the studio, and I have no problems waiting for Void Shadows until Owlcat believes that it's absolutely ready. I've heard a lot of you asking, is Rogue Trader stable now? Many of you had issues with it at launch where you were unable to complete the game, and I do feel like at this time it's in a very stable place, at least from the standpoint of bugs or issues that will prevent you from completing the game. Now, it did just go through a huge mechanics change where they did a bunch of rebalancing basically to make combat more difficult and more engaging and help prevent players from just being able to wipe out hard encounters in one round. And there is supposed to be a secondary update that rebalances all of the fights based on that mechanics update. And so that would be the only reason I might provide that maybe it might make more sense to wait. I'm not sure how widespread or massive this rebalancing is going to be. Owlcat said, though, that they're going to basically look at each and every fight in the game, and based upon the updates they provided, make some decisions about whether or not some adjustments have to be made. So I'm anticipating that when Void Shadows comes out, it's going to introduce some updates that make Rogue Trader significantly better even than it is now. So it might make sense, if you haven't played the game yet, to just go ahead and wait for the DLC and the updates that'll be paired with it to drop in order for you to get the best experience possible. But that's, again, more so from a mechanic standpoint. As far as the bugs people were previously experienced that would just flat out stop them from being able to continue or corrupt their save or things of that nature, I'm hearing very little of that, and I didn't experience it at all on my second run through the game. So again, I would say that the game is in a very stable place, and that makes me even more excited for this new content, for this new party member. One advantage of it not coming out until September 24th is that I'll be most certainly ready to do another full playthrough of this game. And I actually never did a Benevolentia, or I guess it's Iconoclast now. Is that what it's called? I guess an Iconoclast run. So I'll definitely be looking forward to doing that once this content releases. But I do have a question in the interim. Is there any Rogue Trader content that you all want before this DLC drops? Previously, I had heard a couple of you talk about you wanted to see some builds, and I was going to wait until the DLC came out, but now it's going to be such a long wait that maybe it makes sense to look at that again. So are you all still interested in seeing some builds? If so, what kind of builds, what party members you specifically would like to see builds for? Or is there some other aspect of the game that I haven't covered yet that you would love to see covered? Let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to give you all whatever I can, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.